This is the news in brief from the United Nations. Many of us have just experienced one of the 3 warmest Julys on record, according to the UN World Meteorological Organization. Temperatures were close to 0.4 degrees Celsius above the 1991 to 2020 average across much of Europe, with southwestern and western Europe being the most above average regions because of an intense heatwave around mid-July. This is despite the La Nina event that's meant to have a cooling influence, explained Claire Nullis, WMO spokesperson. We saw this in some places, but not globally, she added. Maximum temperatures were broken in Portugal, Western France and Ireland, while England saw record 40 degrees Celsius readings for the first time. Using data from the European Commission's Copernicus Climate Change Service, the UN Weather Agency confirmed that this was the joint 6th warmest July for Europe. Below-average temperatures were observed along the western Indian Ocean and from the Horn of Africa to southern India, over much of Central Asia, as well as most of Australia. They also dominated a band of territory stretching from Iceland across Scandinavia via the Baltic countries, continuing as far as the Caspian Sea. July also saw the lowest Antarctic sea ice on record, a full 7% below average. Arctic sea ice was 4% below average, ranking 12th lowest for July, according to satellite records which started in 1979. The UN Global Health Agency, UNITAID, has warned that the war in Ukraine is increasing the risk of premature births and babies needing oxygen. These have been up to 3 times more than before the war, depending on the hospital you speak to, said the agency's Hervé Verheussel on Tuesday. According to Mr. Verheussel, babies born prematurely are more likely to develop respiratory, neurological or digestive complication conditions that often require oxygen for treatment. Along with partner VEU Global Health, UNITAID has provided 220 ultra-low-cost portable electricity-free devices and 125 oxygen blender systems. Together, they supply infants with the breathing support and oxygen therapy they need, Mr. Verheussel explained. The devices can be used worldwide, but are particularly well suited to use in humanitarian crises or low-resource settings. World Health Organization spokesperson Dr. Margaret Harris backed UNITAID's call for more investment in these health innovations.
Every time there's an attack, one of the things that happens is the electricity doesn't work. And I went to a pediatric hospital in Zaporizhia, which is, as you know, is very much close to the active fighting line. And they actually sleep every night in the basement. And the kids that they've got on ventilation, etc., they have to move, or they try to move. So having very portable devices that can function offline is absolutely critical.
With a rise in monkeypox cases in Brazil, the UN World Health Organization has condemned recent attacks on monkeys in Sao Paulo. The UN Health Agency issued a clear message that monkeys do not transmit the virus following the death of 5 monkeys in forested areas, possibly through stoning, beating or poisoning. People need to know very clearly that the transmission of the virus we are seeing is through person-to-person contact, said WHO spokesperson Dr. Margaret Harris. She told journalists in Geneva that the concern should be about where the virus is transmitting in the human population and what humans can do to protect themselves from getting it and transmitting it. They should certainly not be attacking any animals, she stressed. While the monkeypox virus is seen in a number of different animals, it is much more common in rodents. It was given its name after the virus was first identified in monkeys in a zoological garden in Denmark. WHO is currently in the process of changing the name of the disease, and some announcements will be made soon, the WHO spokesperson said. Dr. Harris also warned against stigmatising any animal or human with the disease. This will lead to a much larger outbreak due to people being afraid of identifying themselves and not getting the care they need or taking precautions, she said. Katie Dartford, UN News.